Today we will be reading Chapter 13 of Hamster-Saurus Rex. If you want to see the previous chapters, go watch our other videos, but let's get into it. A good day for me involved getting an extra piece of cinnamon toast for breakfast, maybe buying a new pair of shoelaces, but winning a class-wide fitness competition and getting revenge on a bully who has tormented me for years. That was a whole different category of good day for Sam Gibbs. It eventually took 4 custodians and the school nurse to extricate Beaver from the predicament. They had to use the jaws of life to break the urinal off his head. But he wasn't rescued before every single boy and most of the girls of Horace Hotwater Middle School paid a visit to the second floor's boys' bathroom and witnessed the humiliation of Beaver Vanderkopf. Some of them took pictures. I came to school the next morning feeling like a king. When I got there, a crowd of students stood around my locker. Everyone wanted to talk to me. "Nice work, Sam," said Jimmy Chow, shaking my hand. I hated Beaver ever since kindergarten when he broke all my crayons. "It was nothing," I said. I never giving another cent of lunch money to that guy," said Omar Powell. I knew he wasn't eventually a karate master. "Hey, maybe you earned a clear belt for eating corn chips," I said. And everyone laughed. Seriously, they laughed at one of my jokes. "Sam, you can teach me how to do more knuckle-ups," said Drew McConaughey. "Sure, no problem," I said. "It's all about your proper form." "Any plans this weekend, Sam?" said Julie Bailey, smiling brightly. "Just kind of play it by ear," I said. Speaking of ears, you're still not mad about the caricature." "No, wait, that's ancient history. Besides, we can call it even. In first grade, I told everyone that you had an accident." "Wait, that was you?" I said. So Dylan hadn't spilled the beans about that one. Maybe she wasn't as big of a blabbermouth as I thought. "Anyway, Sam," said Julie, "if you're free Saturday, maybe you could come over and see my snail," said Wilbur Wibber, edging her out. "Yeah, maybe, Wilbur," I said. Actually, I think I have something on Saturday and also on Sunday, but I like to smear glue all over my face and then peel it off like skin," said Jared Kopernik. Cool, Jared," I said. "Hey, speak of the devil," said Omar. Down the hall, I saw Beaver Vanderkopf, eyes on the ground, slinking towards his locker. As he passed other kids whispering and pointing. Somehow Beaver looked 6 inches shorter than he had yesterday. Someone in the crowd called out, "What's up, toilet foot?" Beaver flinched but didn't respond. Someone else yelled, "Nah, he goes by urinal head now." Toilet foot, urinal head. In my opinion, they were both great nicknames for Beaver. Maybe good compromise would be toilet urinal foothead. My mom says, "What's wrong to take pleasure in misfortune of others?" But I will admit I giggled for 5 minutes straight. The bell rang and I waited for the crowd to disappear before I opened my locker. Hammy Rex was inside, looking just as happy as I felt. He wasn't wagging his tail or kicking sand all over the place. "All aboard?" I said, holding my shirt pocket open. With a growl, Hamster-Saurus Rex leaped out of the air and did a flip and landed in my pocket. Hamstrific," I said. Class was a breeze. I doodled all morning, mostly pictures of a 50-foot-tall Hamster-Saurus Rex stomping on a regular-sized Beaver. I even threw caution to the wild and let Hamster-Saurus Rex sneak a peek at my artwork. He approved. Burped. Mr. Copeland surprised me by calling on me in class. He expected that I wouldn't know the answer, and I currently didn't, but I happened to guess Wampanoag Confederacy, which turned out to be the correct and to be correct. Mr. Copeland was very impressed. I didn't get a few more bad grades. To science and somebody mentioned something about science night, but I wasn't really sweating it. Nothing could bring me down. I finally stand up to Beaver, said Dylan at lunch. Please, no need to call me a hero. I'm just a regular guy who was pushed too far, I said, chewing my ham and cheese sandwich. I didn't call you a hero, said Dylan. I guess that means you're not worried at all. Worried about what? This, said Dylan. She slid a poorly photocopied note across the table. It read, Come to the monkey bars at recess to learn Sam Gibbs' terrible secret. Warning, this note is also a secret. Do not tell anybody, especially Sam. Sincerely, Anonymous. Anonymous? Huh? It looked like it had been written by a preschooler. That's how I knew it was Beaver. He put these in everyone's locker, said, Dylan, what do you think he's up to? No idea, I said, but I guess I'm gonna go find out. You don't have one, do you, Sam? One what? A secret? I squinted, feeling guilty. What? No way. I'm an open book. Her face looked pained. If you need help, Sam, I could help you, just like in preschool when you had the sandpail stuck on your head. We're best friends. That's what we do. Look, I already told you I don't know where Hamster-Saurus Rex is. I didn't mention Hamster-Saurus Rex, said Dylan. At recess, a crowd had formed near the monkey bars. They were whispering and joking among themselves. It seemed like people were expecting Beaver to somehow make a bigger fool of himself than he already had. Everyone except Dylan. That is, she stood apart with her arms crossed, her face unreadable. Oh no, said Tina Gomez, frightened fear as I approached. It's Sam. Terrible secret. Gibbs. I'll admit it, I said. I know what the cafeteria shepherd's pie is really made of. People laughed for the second time that day. As something, I said. Man, I could get used to that. Guys, I told you all that I'm not to tell him. Came shrill crying from behind me. As I turned, the crowd parted to reveal Beaver Vanderkopf stared at me eyes wide, no less terrified than yesterday. I've got something to say, Beaver, I said, throwing out my chest. Say it to my face. My best effort to tough guy, it seemed to impress everyone. Yeah, what's the big secret, What's the big secret, urinal head, said Tina Gomez to Beaver. The suspense is killing me. I'll tell you, but once I reveal it, you have to promise to protect me from him, said Beaver, pointing at my direction. I looked over my shoulder. No, he really did mean me. Sure, we promise, said Omar Powell, snickeringly. Beaver cleared his throat. Well, Sam is an extra weird lately. Sure, he's always been weird, but also a dumb baby and total jerk, like when he drew those stink lines. Spare us, Beaver. 2 years ago, you sniped off one of my pigtails. You snipped off one of my pigtails. So in my book, you're the jerk, said Julie Bailey. Just get with it, will you, toilet foot? Beaver frowned. First off, I've seen Sam getting all of his extra food at the cafeteria and bring it 5 sandwiches to his lunchbox too. Beaver had seen that. I guess I'd probably been less sneaky than I thought. I noticed Dylan looking at me, plus other snacks have been going missing from other people's lockers, said Beaver, and it wasn't even me who stole them this time. So Sam eats a lot of So Sam eats a lot, said Drew McCoy. You do too, Beefer. So what? I know, but overeating is like normal for me, said Beefer. The big secret is that Sam likes sandwiches, said Jimmy Chow. Lime. No, wheat, said Beefer. That's just part of it. I think about how all the sudden Sam wins Little Mr. Muscles. How did he do it? Look at him. He's still a puny little nerd. The crowd murmured now. It seems like a few of them were actually starting to consider what Beefer is saying. I tried to look less puny. And yesterday when I was about to stick his head in a toilet of what for me, he said Beefer, he roared at me. At this, the crowd went quiet. Sam roared at you, said Dylan. Yes, said Beefer. It was the scariest sound I've ever heard. No human could make a noise like that. No, it was more like an animal or a monster. Everyone was staring at me. Some of them looked uncertain. Conclusively, my hand went to my pocket. It was empty. I know that what I'm about to say is going to sound strange, but Beefer taking a deep breath. But please keep an open mind. The world is more complex than. Spit it out, said Drew. I believe that Sam Gibbs, said Beefer, pausing and he pointing at me dramatically, is a werewolf. Everyone turned to stare at Beefer again. Then they all burst out laughing. You watch way too many horror movies, dude, said Omar. I think that urinal waterlogged your brain, said Julie. I'm so glad I showed up for this, said Jimmy Chow, hugging Beefer's note. No, cried Beefer. I think it super strength, increased appetite, roaring. It all adds up. Werewolves don't roar, said Gino Gomez. They howl. Sometimes they roar, Beefer cried desperately. Woo! I howled. Everyone laughed. Come on, now he's faking it, being a werewolf, cried Beefer. That's the oldest werewolf trick in the werewolf book. Watch, Wolfsplosion, too. People. I don't get why nobody is taking this serious at that moment. Beefer's sweatpants fell down around his ankles, revealing his pale legs and dingly hair of tingly whiteys. The laughter tripled as Beefer struggled unnecessarily. He pulled them back up, and this is a conspiracy, he cried. Somebody sabotaged my drawstring string to make it look like a dummy. He pulled the string out of his waistband, and sure enough, it had been gnawed into two pieces. A flash of orange fur darted behind. The slide left with little doubt it was to who had done it. Hamster-Saurus Rex had escaped from my pocket to deal a death blow to Beefer's credibility. Hey Beefer, if you really need to hold up your pants, I said, you could always use your clear belt. He's got a huge laugh. He has you all tricked, cried Beefer. He was just a regular smart-mouthed dweeb, but now the curse of the werewolf is upon him. Beware, none of you are safe. Come on, what am I going to do? Said Beefer. Eat you? And I lunged towards Beefer, baring my teeth. He shrieked and ran as fast as he could across the playground and back towards the school. To the delight of the crowd, his pants fell down 6-7 times along the way. My own smile faded as I turned to see Dylan was peeking her head behind the side. She had seen Hammy Rex, too. Dylan, wait, I cried, running towards her. You shouldn't what, said Dylan. Relief, Henry Rex wasn't there. You shouldn't go, go down this slide, I said, it has ants on it. I tried to smile. The bell rang. Recess was over. You're not telling me something, Sam, I said, Dylan. You do have a secret. It's like I don't even know you anymore. Now I'm being honest. I promise. Dylan squinted at me, but didn't say anything as she turned to walk back towards the school. I found Hamster-Saurus Rex gnawing on the base of the monkey bars. He didn't understand why I didn't feel like playing. That was the end of chapter 13. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Thank you.